Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and we could be interrupted during this show because the people that are going to fix my internet finally. I've been without my fast internet pretty much all week. It's been frustrating, but that's life. I want to start off here. We're at 925 days of the SEC going after Americans and American companies while protecting China. Okay? And we know that they don't have a faithful allegiance to the law because the judge said so in the Ripple versus SEC case. But we also have this from Brian Costello. Senator Warren's purposeful blindness in the Senate Banking Committee led her own state pension fund, Mass Prim, to investing $150 million in Sequoia, China, while her proxy at the SEC, Gary Gensler, turns the other way on substantial alleged U.S. capital market crimes involving Sequoia, China's principal. Urgent need for accountability and thorough investigation. While Gary goes after all of these American companies, and China is rising with their digital yuan and the blockchain industry, and he goes after and tries to shut down the U.S. industry, and he protects all of the people with ties to China. And don't forget that he works for a president who, they have the receipts, folks. They have the receipts. Millions of dollars in bribes from China. What is going on in this country? Where are the good guys? Because the bad guys are getting to do whatever they want, obviously. Now, speaking of China, they've added to their gold reserves for the eighth consecutive month. Stockpiling. Well, as you know, Glint is one of my sponsors, okay? Check this out. This is Joe Indoso from Link2. Last night on the Troomers Only episode with the official cool guy, Mr. Intuitive, okay? I want you to listen to this clip. First, Joe Indoso, the COO of Link2, is talking about how they're looking at ways that they can add some form of staking XRP so that you can earn interest on your XRP on the Link2 platform. They don't have it yet, but they're working on it. Second part, he's talking about some of the stocks that are going to be added to the Link2 platform in the next month.
Not staking per se of XRP, but we're thinking of other creative ways by which we can take people's XRP balances wherever they might be custodied, right? And making them more actively usable on the platform. We're also, and that might include using those XRP balances to participate in the liquidity pools on the Link2 market. So we're thinking of that. That's an indirect form of staking. It would be very different than the way one stakes tokens on an exchange or on a lending platform in crypto. But it would have the same effect, which is to allow you to effectively earn some rate of return on your XRP balance or the monetary value of your XRP balance.
Now, Joe, I try to get all the...
Okay, I'm going to pause there because actually, let me look 1 second. My internet guy's here. Well, I'll keep it playing until he knocks on the door, and then we'll take our break then.
Information I could have Ray when you were gone, but he didn't budge. But I was just wondering, and you can give me a short no or no comment, but any upcoming imminent listings we could discuss?
Yeah, I mean, this month we're going to have a very busy calendar. So next week we're going to bring another block of Circle, which is...
I want some of that Circle. I'm going for it.
Our view, the preeminent stablecoin company out there, the company that's behind USDC. That's going to be available next week. We'll have a fintech company that allows you to basically maintain a portion of your cash reserves, if you will, in gold bullion that is secure and monetizable, and that's a fintech called Glint.
There you go.
The week following, we're going to launch another block of Chainalysis, which is a very important infrastructure company that tracks, wallets and token and crypto transactions across all venues around the.
Okay, got to run. He's knocking on the door. We will reconvene. Okay, my internet guy just left. We are in business again. We have a high-speed internet connection once again on the DAI channel. And now I'm going to finish this, playing this clip so that you know what Link2 is about to add to the platform.
Crypto transactions across all venues around the world. It's used by governments and exchanges. It's the number one factor in that infrastructure vertical. And then a company that's U.S. and very, very, I think, unique. It's called iTrustCapital, and they are the number one company in crypto IRAs.
You heard that right. iTrustCapital, one of my sponsors, just is being added to the Link2 platform to be able to get private equity.
That's going to be coming on the platform. And then we'll have an HI company that's called H2AI.
H2AI. I need to get into some of these AI companies. I haven't. Now, let's listen to Linda P. Jones talk about the Ripple valuation and all the different things that could affect a Ripple IPO valuation.
What's really interesting is in 2020, Ripple was valued at $10 billion in a buyback of stock that they did. In 2022, Ripple was valued at $15 billion in a buyback of their stock. And then because of the bear market last year, all private equity pretty much has taken a valuation right down. And so right now, as of this morning on Link2's platform, Ripple is valued at only $7.6 billion, which is roughly half of where it was in 2022. And some people think because their price has gone up quite a bit that maybe it's not that great of a deal, but I still really think it is. And that's because with their valuation being half of what it was in 2022, we can do a comparable valuation to a company with similar growth in the same sector. Now that's really difficult to do with Ripple, but there's probably one company that we could agree on that you could use for that, and that would be Coinbase. And Coinbase went public at a valuation of $86 billion. And so if Ripple were able to reach a valuation of $86 billion before it IPO'd, if you divide the 7.6 billion valuation it is today, that's an over 11 times increase in price from where it is today, or 11 times value. And that's without any XRP on the balance sheet. That's not valuing XRP at all. We know they have about 48 billion XRP, and at 50 cents roughly today for easy math, that's about $24 billion in value. So right now they value it at zero, but there's 24 billion of value out there that, might be added to the 86 billion possibly, which would get it to 110 billion. You divide that by the 7.6 billion that Link2 has it valued at today, that's 14 times your investment. So not financial advice, but full disclosure, I'm a Ripple shareholder. I love the stock because I think in the XRP community, we look at Ripple and we look at XRP every single day. And I had to do research on both for my book back in 2020. And since that time, about every day, I know something about one or both. And I feel like I haven't researched any company as well as I have this company. So I feel really comfortable investing in that, but everybody has to make their own decisions. But think about it. This is without a bump in price due to the end of the lawsuit. This is without a bump in price that would come when they make an IPO announcement. This is without any disclosure of accounts that they have that they are holding back during the lawsuit time, that they're not announcing certain important customers that they've acquired because those customers don't want to be associated during the lawsuit. So presumably there may be an Amazon or Apple out there that they have an agreement with that we don't know about formally yet. They may be the only asset that gets regulatory clarity, possibly. I mean, there's all these things that could dramatically increase the value that isn't bump in price due to the end of the lawsuit. This is without a bump in price that would come when they make an IPO announcement. This is without any disclosure of accounts that they have that they are holding back during the lawsuit time, that they're not announcing certain important customers that they've acquired because those customers don't want to be associated during the lawsuit. So presumably there may be an Amazon or Apple out there that they have an agreement with that we don't know about formally yet. They may be the only asset that gets regulatory clarity, possibly. I mean, there's all these things that could dramatically increase the value that isn't in my back of the envelope calculation. So there's a lot higher valuations than you could get to. And with Nvidia at $1 trillion, Apple at $3 trillion, Amazon at $2 trillion, there's a lot of companies that are, much higher valued. But if Ripple has a place in the new financial system, which I think it has, then it has room to increase. And I think that's super exciting. And one other thing that people might not know, not many people are aware of, it's not really a secret, but it was in an article this week that another Lig 2 company, Uphold, has $1 billion of XRP in its reserves. So a good complement, if you're an investor in Ripple, might be that you invest in Uphold as well. You get, kind of the double bonus, but, you also have double the risk. So be very careful and don't do anything crazy. But, I mean, it's a very interesting combination to think about the two together as well. So anyway, just kind of a little brief on the numbers there.
Thank you for that those compelling insights, Linda.
That was awesome. I thought Linda did a great job, and that was Joe Endoso there at the end. JP Morgan says potential approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs by the SEC is unlikely to be a game changer for crypto markets. Of course they think that. Then we have this. I wanted to, let me see, I'll play this. This is Luan Lim, CEO of HSBC Hong Kong, regarding virtual assets. Says we believe that it will be CBDCs that will trigger the real revolution.
So Hong Kong is again at the forefront in areas like asset tokenization, digital currency, the internationalization of the renminbi.
I think it's two things: CBDCs and the tokenization of real-world assets.
Tokenization, it has the potential to open a new chapter in financial services, making it faster, cheaper, more accessible to more people. So it's great to see HKMA leading the way earlier this year with its tokenized green bonds, and we're proud to be an arranger of the first ever issuance by a government globally. When it comes to currencies, we remain deeply engaged in the ongoing, debate over virtual assets, and we do support the government's outreach to virtual asset service providers. But in the long term, we believe it will be central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, that will trigger the real revolution. They offer
the real revolution. Check this out. Speaking of Hong Kong, Anthony Welfare put this out. CBDCs are gaining traction globally. Ripple CBDC team are focusing on real-world use cases for CBDCs or stablecoin. Last week, I shared two real use cases at CEE FinTech Conference in Romania. Tokenization is the future of real estate. The pilot combines the hypothetical EHKD tokenized real estate and finance lending protocols, allows users to tokenize real estate as collateral for loans. Solution will leverage Ripple's CBDC platform, a secure, private, permissioned ledger. That's going to be exciting. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Anthony Welfare is kicking a word, as my 11-year-old would say, and taking names. Thanks for listening.